Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back with another body cam. Today, we got cops make the worst discovery of their lives. As a cop, what is something you would think that you like? Ain't no way.
Probably like walking in on like a gruesome mass situation.
But there's something that happens.
But some people, like, it depends on how long you've been on the force. Some people have never seen that before.
Did you see the photos I sent you? Well, the link I sent you to the photo?
No.
Of a shooting?
No. You sent it today?
Yesterday. That's how.
One of the links I couldn't open. It said it was unavailable.
I be sending her stuff all the time, y'all. She do not look at nothing.
I looked at everything, actually, but one of them I couldn't open. It said it was unavailable. And that probably was it.
Give me another thing you like. To that I'm like, that's something that's like...
That's not common for everyone. It's not. And depending on how bad it is, it's not. Depending on, like, what condition. Like, no.
Let's see. Me... it took you to the what's called?
Oh, did it take me somewhere else or something?
Yeah. So, it was... I'll tell you afterwards. Remind me to tell you afterwards, cause.
Sure.
All right, but hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box
down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first part. You gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoy today's visuals,
liking it with a thumbs up.
I don't think I'll be a police officer though. I'm not. There's certain things in life I'm glad I haven't seen and I don't want to experience it.
Yeah.
Because it will eat me up just to keep. And I will keep. You know how I am. I would relive it over and over and over again in my head, and it won't go. But let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about, y'all. Let's get it.
First, it smelled like gas, and it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
Now, remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Mm-hmm. Is it a bloodbath in there?
On May 22, 2019, police in Sturgis, Michigan listened to an anonymous 911 caller read them an address. Inside this home, the caller explained, they would find the missing 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller. Little did authorities know that single phone call would launch the most shocking investigation of their careers, one that required uncovering secret after haunting secret, all buried within an exceptionally twisted and sadistic mind. The following footage has never been seen before. When Kelly Jean, known as KJ, went missing in April 2019, no red flags went up. There were no frantic phone calls to 911 and no weary search parties. But it wasn't because KJ wasn't loved. The trouble was that her lifestyle was transient. She was estranged from her family and had untreated mental health struggles. This meant that sometimes long periods of absence were the norm for KJ. So when police received a 911 call sending them to an address to look for her, and officers found themselves standing on the doorstep of an ordinary-looking apartment, it was hard to believe the call was even real. After all, this wasn't the kind of thing one saw in the small town of Sturgis, Michigan. But there was only one way to find out.
She said inside on the left. Hi, Wade.
Hey, Wade. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
I remember you from the Speedway.
Yeah. What are you up to now?
Not much.
Answering the door is 35-year-old Wade Allen.
We're looking for Kimberly.
Kelly?
Or Kelly. She.
You know Kelly?
Kimberly or Kelly?
From the shelter, maybe?
KJ?
KJ?
Yeah.
At first, Wade seems confused, and for good reason. It's close to midnight, and he's been startled awake by several armed officers knocking on his door. Wade recently came to live in this apartment after a period of homelessness, and KJ was an acquaintance from a shelter he frequented in Kalamazoo.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from that person in some months.
Do you know her?
I haven't heard from her in a while. The last time I've seen her is a couple months, and last I heard she's in Kalamazoo. I think the best way for me to help you get a hold of her is through the shelter.
The eerie atmosphere is palpable. With a call like this, officers can't simply take Wade's words as fact. They need to confirm what, if anything, is behind his front door.
Well, we just need to talk to her.
Oh, well,
Do you mind if we come and look, see if make sure she's not here?
I could tell you she's not. I mean,
According to Wade, he and KJ had lost touch recently after she suddenly stopped responding to his Facebook messages.
as far as here, I don't like just... My place is a mess, and I don't like just people coming and going all the time.
We don't care. We see all sorts of apartments and
Just on his defense, bro, without a warrant, no. Not. I'm like, because I know so many people like have. There's just on legal standards for anybody. If they don't have a warrant, never let anyone inside your home. Police officers. I understand this is a certain case. I'm just, because people like. I'm just saying, like, if they, even if you're innocent. Guilty, innocent, whatever, because sometimes they'll even come in and plant stuff that has happened in the past where they say, hey, we got a search warrant, show me the search warrant, they ain't even verify a search warrant. Or can we search your house? Yeah, I'm innocent, I ain't got no, oh, what is this? I don't know what, now you really is, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if they don't have a warrant, active warrant to search, no.
Well,
all we gotta do is verify she's not here, and then we can get out of here and be done with it.
I don't know. I feel iffy. If you guys want to come by another time, just not right now. Let me at least have a day where I can clean up and do things.
Okay. Well, here's the deal, Wade. If we gotta get a search warrant, we will. All right. We don't want to go that route.
I know.
That's a lot of work for all of us, including you. So, if we gotta do that, we're gonna have to detain you and put you in the car for a little while. All right, until we get that search warrant. It'll take a couple hours.
No, you don't. You know what? Everybody should have legal counsel at some point in time, no matter what. Even if you ain't got nothing going, you should still have some type of legal counsel. Because what you gonna put me in the car? Like,
Hours. If she's in there, can you just have her come out and say, I'm fine?
Well, she's not, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I can open up and I'll say, hey, KJ, Kelly, and there's no Kelly or KJ.
You mind if I just stand here and look in?
You can. I mean, I don't have her here.
Okay.
Eventually, Wade agrees to let one officer, one he's met in the past, search his apartment.
Do you want if it's just one of you then?
One of us is fine.
Do you want to come in?
I'll go in, Wade. Thank you.
I know you know me enough. Like,
yeah,
it's not much, but I don't have. I mean, I got my friend's sunglasses here, but not much of anything. And then I got all this. This is my bedroom. You see? She's not here. I had her suitcase from when she was here. Just me, and if I do have a guest, I have a bed.
As Wade guides the officers through his home, nothing in particular is jumping out. But just as it seems the search is coming to a close, one thing catches the officer's eye.
What?
I don't have anyone here.
Okay.
I just
all right, man.
Myself.
What's in the cooler?
Oh, that's for when the summer comes around. I'm going to have parties and stuff. So.
All right, no problem. Can you open that for me, and then we'll get out of here?
Well, not right now I can't. Like, I mean, I want to save that for later.
Okay.
For when the summer gets here, so. But I showed you. She hasn't been here in forever.
Okay. Well, you don't
Why don't you just open that cooler and we'll get out of here? I just want to make sure anywhere that she could be hiding.
She's not gonna be hiding.
Well, I just need to know that, okay?
No, I mean, I can help you out there, but I've shown you everything.
Okay.
Wade seems eager to end the search and get back to bed, but his strangely evasive behavior is only working against him.
All right.
You want to open that cooler for me?
Well,
Can you open the fridge for me? Make sure she's not hiding in there?
there's no point in the fridge either. Like, I mean, it's just food and stuff.
I understand.
You know?
All right, why don't you throw your shoes on real quick?
Well, I helped you out. I showed you.
You did partially, but do you have shoes you can throw on real quick?
A little bit. But here, I'll help you. You know.
Okay, I'll help you out. Go on out.
Well, I gotta
You're detained right now, okay? Go on out.
I'm detained.
You're detained right. Walk out there.
Soon as you let them in the house and they had suspicion, now they could detain you. Stupid. Yep. Me personally, without a warrant, I'm not even coming to the. It's just like, because I know, I just know how people would take it, but that's not what I'm. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but
viewers, but I'm still personally I'm not letting you in the house, whether I'm guilty or innocent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You still have rights.
Yeah, you still have your rights. If without a search warrant, I'm not even coming to the door. But I do understand they come knocking on the door. They got a phone call, say, hey, her body is in here. As an officer, now on the viewpoint as the officer, I'm going to try to convince myself inside the house.
Because me personally, like, say, for instance, that was, like if I was the person that something has happened to, I would want someone to press the issue for me. I don't want you to just give up easily just because somebody say that they, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And I agree.
Or if it's my loved one, you know, like.
And I agree.
I want you to go take the extra mile. But, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like.
But I get it. I get it.
As the walls seem to close in on Wade, he's forced to make a decision. He can stick to his guns or prove to the police that they really have nothing to worry about.
You said let me put shoes on.
You're not going to get them on now. I'm giving you the opportunity to walk out there. Do it now. You got anything illegal on you?
No, I don't.
Okay, put your hands behind your back.
You got a knife or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Why don't you turn around against the wall real slowly.
Being detained, I'm just
want the opportunity to look the rest of the way through the apartment, okay?
Well, I showed you everything. Here.
You fucked up by letting them inside.
So let me.
Now they can go in without.
Show me?
I will. I showed you everything.
Why don't you walk back in there and show me then?
But I did.
Because technically, he can't open the fridge or.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it.
Because he can't open the fridge or look into the fridge unless he has permission. You like every.
He's in the house. You gave him permission. Got that on camera, so he's doing nothing illegal there. But if you start going through things, I didn't give you permission to do that.
And
so
you have no search
warrant. I'm
warrant.
showing you what I want you to see. So yeah, without a search warrant.
And that's the reason why, again, I said, and technically, what do they have you on to detain you from in the first place if you never, on the legal side? I'm saying in the very first place. But you shouldn't open the door in the first place. Especially if you got something to hide. Now you're going to make it real hard for your lawyer.
It's something.
Okay. I see she's not in there.
What you want to be in the fridge?
I understand that, but we got to look. We found people in some crazy places.
With no sign of KJ, Wade makes no attempt to hide his frustration with police.
What you want to have to hide?
Well, I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she's hiding from the law or hiding from her family or what she's doing.
Well, I don't think she would.
I just want to verify, okay? Can I look in that cooler over there?
That.
He said the baby that cool off limits, huh?
Like I said, later on and summer stuff, but I'm trying to keep my stuff kind of private, you know?
Well, that's fine. All I want to do is open it, say, KJ, you in there? And then close it right back up, and I'll get out of here. You'll be out of handcuffs, and we'll be gone.
Well, let's have a warrant for the rest of this, and I'll just get detained. I don't understand why all this.
Seemingly confused at the invasion of his personal space, Wade agrees to wait it out while officers request a search warrant.
Why don't you just have a seat right there?
Well, do you mind if I wait out here? I mean,
No, I got to type up a search warrant. But at this point, I'm suspicious that she is in there.
why?
So, because you won't let me look in that cooler or any other big boxes in there. I didn't see anything else I needed to look through, but that big cooler, I have no idea what size she is. If she's a little person, you could probably put 2 of her in that cooler. That cooler was that big. So basically, I was going to make sure she's not hidden in there. It took you a little while to answer your door, so I don't know if she was...
The reason why I took a while is because I had to get dressed.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. If you were in bed, yeah. But in the meantime, you could have been telling somebody to go hide in the cooler.
Ain't got no odor. God, it must be a good seal-proof
Cooler.
If you don't have no type of...
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not in trouble. We just have a job to do.
As officers repeatedly ask Wade to wait in the cruiser, he does everything he can think of to avoid the back seat.
I actually like to stay out here if that's okay.
Well, we can't.
Sit right here if that's okay.
You can sit long ways across the seat, but you got to get all the way in. You want to put your back towards the other door, you can, or whatever's more comfortable for you.
Once Wade finally gets settled, officers catch up a few feet away, and they're quick to voice concerns.
Oh, he's trying to steer me away from this big old cooler that's in the corner of this living room.
We're doing that. It should be easy first place.
It's a big, huge green cooler, and you've got boxes stacked on top of it.
Meanwhile, a somewhat cooperative Wade is still squirming in the back of the squad car.
I feel claustrophobic.
Okay.
I really am.
Well, all right, we'll head back there, okay? We'll put you...
I'm really feeling claustrophobic right now.
Okay. Well, we could end this all. You could take me in there and let me look around more, or I've got to take you back and put you in a cell while I'm doing the search warrant. So.
All right, well, let me go back then.
As Wade silently leads the officer back to his apartment, a strange energy hangs heavy in the air.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm concerned about is any closets or any coolers.
Like I said, just in here, watch.
Okay. Can I pop it open and just take a peek?
Well, yeah, if you want.
Okay. Why don't you step back for a second?
Please.
What's in there?
Just stuff.
Okay. All right. Let's head out here. Head out here.
Everything's good now.
Yep. Everything's good.
I showed you everything?
Yep. You're under arrest, okay?
Under arrest?
Yes, you are.
All right.
Is she
Gotta
in
get the
there?
crime task force out here.
Oh, jeez.
You ain't see it. You too busy.
I mean, yeah.
No, you was too busy.
I seen I seen like, was it like blurred? But my
It looked
vision
like
already
hair.
blurry. I didn't know. I really didn't, cause my eyesight ain't the best. So I really didn't know if it was me or if it was. I didn't know. I didn't. What?
Can I have a soda?
Wait.
Why sit in the back of the cruiser just to be like, yeah, I'll take you back in when you could have just did that in the first place? Like,
Man,
you already
would've
knew
been
that
like,
they
man,
was
just
gonna
go ahead and
find
take
it.
me in, bro.
You know what I'm
She
saying?
up there in the cooler, man. Just go ahead and take me in.
That's so sad.
Just keep walking.
Once outside and back in the patrol car, Wade seems eager to fill the silence.
This situation happened, and
Yeah. Yep.
that's probably the best way for me to put it right now.
The officers already seem to have an idea that something horrible happened in that apartment, but they couldn't yet know just how twisted things will get by the end of this disturbing case.
I am currently setting up.
I wonder how long she been. Cause you ain't had her in that cooler this whole time,
Right?
and they say it took him a long time. 9 times out of 10, you were trying to figure out what to do with her,
What, to come to the door?
but it still would have been out.
Yeah, so that.
I don't know.
On the car with a guy up in the back seat.
who has done something bad.
As some of the officers begin searching the apartment, others transport Wade to the station and settle in for a long night, doing their best to put him at ease. Whatever happened, they need to know the full story. When he does start to talk, the story he has to tell is only a small piece of the truth, and what really happened to KJ is far more disturbing than anyone could have ever imagined.
We got some homemade cookies in there that are really good. You want a couple cookies?
I'd better pass on that.
You want a couple of them, or?
Yeah, I'm a greedy guy.
Okay. All right. We will get you hooked up. All right, man. Here's some cookies. I can get started on those.
Soon, the detective...
I know you lying. Even when he mentioned about the cookie, he had a grin like, cookies?
Hell yeah, I can go.
Talking about it's hard to pass. You ain't getting nothing. You done took somebody's life, you ain't getting a thing.
I'm sorry to be laughing, but he ain't all there, bruh. See,
He there enough.
If you walk and breathing, you there to a point, but you ain't all there. Bro, did you see the video I sent you do the little was shooting no gun?
Yes.
I said, why y'all even do that shit?
Yes, I seen it.
But
and that's a problem too. I'm just these folks be pissing me off. Okay.
Then he was bragging about the cookies, talking about some. Ooh, look at the size. It's a big cookie. I am a greedy person.
You start on those.
Soon, the detective arrives, while Wade insinuated earlier that...
Damn, Wade, you couldn't get to the precinct and got you a real meal? They be stopping people by the Burger King and Popeye. You remember that dude? He was eating the meal in the backseat from Zaxby's. Wade, you a greedy person. You should have asked for a pizza. It's like, hey, can I get a pizza? Can you give me some Papa John's or something? No, y'all got it. They got you some cookies and some Dasani water, boy. Damn.
That KJ was merely a distant friend. It's not long before that story changes.
And I think it goes back to like 2013 with her.
Okay.
And we started being friends, but we started probably dating sometime after that. I don't know.
So would it be fair to say that you've known Kelly Jean since 2013 and recently?
Well, I've known her before that.
Okay.
But that was just when she added me on Facebook.
Recently, according to Wade, he even lived with KJ in his current apartment.
All right, Wade, so what I would like to know from you is, in your own words, what happened to Kelly Jean?
I know she's been through a lot. And really a lot. Might take a little bit to describe, but there's a lot.
Please take your time.
Right.
I have nowhere else to be. So I will bear with you. Officer Wire will bear with you.
Absolutely.
If you need a tissue, there's plenty of tissues there.
Earlier, the search of Wade's apartment revealed some chilling discoveries.
So there's a rope, there's a bungee cords. We got the trash bag. Some type of ribbon. Bungee. Looks like a female belt. Girl shoes, those green ones? That's what it looks like.
I'll start with saying that she's hyperglycemic.
Okay.
Alright, so her eating levels are important. She has to have a certain amount of sugars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I only bring that to attention because I know at one point while she was making cereal, she fainted and it really hurt her head and it really concerned me. Because a little after that, I started seeing impairment issues, whether speech, memory, things like that. I was concerned.
How long ago would you say that was? Yeah, that's good. I mean, right here. You seeing this?
For her, that incident had to have happened in March.
Okay, so it's been a little bit ago.
I want to say March.
When she fell, did she become unconscious? Did she knock herself out? Did she just kind of stun herself? Did she?
She was unconscious for a little bit.
Okay, about how long would you say a little bit would be?
Well, I would say 5 to 10 minutes, and even though that might seem like a little bit to me, that's a long time for someone to be unconscious.
And as Wade tells it, KJ's symptoms lingered in the days after her fall, and they weren't subtle. She had no memory of what happened, and she struggled to carry out daily functions that weren't a challenge for her before. Though KJ did suffer from these symptoms, what Wade is saying happened isn't the full story, and what really happened to her is far more disturbing than just a fall.
And then I was trying to take care of her.
Wade isn't the only person police spoke to. They also asked his neighbor Sherry, who lived right next door, to come to the station to answer some questions and hopefully shed some light on what really happened to KJ. According to Sherry, she and Wade had a cordial relationship, occasionally spending evenings watching TV together in her apartment. But Wade made a comment about KJ that left Sherry feeling concerned.
Also, he told me that she had fallen in the bathroom and that he thought she might have a skull fracture. And I said, well, you need to take her to the emergency room. He goes, I'm taking care of her.
This development immediately put officers on high alert. In the story he told officers, Wade explained KJ fell in the kitchen while making cereal. In this version, Wade said she fell in the bathroom. This is only the first of many red flags in this story.
She wasn't able to feed herself. And that really concerned me. I did my best to try to help feed her. So one time I came in, I saw her sitting on the tub, and I tried to feed her this meal. One of these freezer dinners, I have a bunch of those, and it was chili. And she was just kind of like holding it like this, and then she just moving so slow, and there was just chili all over her.
Wade explained that KJ even struggled to drink water at times, despite his attempts to help her.
Did you try to get some medical treatment for her, see what was going on, anything like that?
I didn't take her, no. I didn't know if she could move or get around.
What do you need to paramedic?
Just wasn't walking all that fast. Like I said, her motor skills were not good. I did start.
Even if this did happen the way you're trying to say it happened, you with no level of further education as far as understanding, like that's like me, something happened to you, I can't nurse you. I have no education in any type of health. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be no help. Call 911. Call the appropriate people who specialize. That's what I was trying to think of. You ain't got no specialization in any kind of health to be able to nurse anyone.
Facts. I'm wondering, like, was he holding her like captive, maybe? But no, the neighbor. Because I'm like, were you starving her? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what happened. Like, I'm trying to piece the thing.
Did they have an argument? And you pushed her and she fell,
something,
hit her head, and she was like really out of it. But instead of calling the police or ambulance and calling 911 and actually getting proper
like some paramedics or something out there to like see about her, get her taken to the hospital.
And it was more of a slow death for her, like she died over time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out because I'm like,
because them being in an argument, he pushed her, she fell, hit her head, would make sense, but she was still able to survive. And if she had the proper medical treatment, she could have survived.
Yeah,
but she probably had a lot of brain bleed. Yeah, from the story.
Just from what he telling, I'm just trying to piece things together, make sense of it.
We're talking to her caseworker about how she might need an adult foster care. You know, because before even that, there was issues of bladder control problems. Like on my bed, I got a big old yellow stamp for where she beat on that. She in the kitchen, like She had issues with bladder control.
Sherry, Wade's neighbor, had more to share. Over time, she'd grown to feel extremely uneasy in his company. It wasn't long before an eerie and unprompted confession validated her strange feelings about Wade. From here, the story takes an even darker turn, suggesting that what police know about Wade so far barely scratches the surface.
For real?
He told me that he hit women.
He told you that he hit women.
Yeah. And that he was working on it because I've been through domestic violence. And I told him, you can't do that, you know? I said, you can go to jail for that. He goes, I know, I'm working on it.
After Wade's comments, Sherry remained friendly, but guarded, and she decided to ease off of their visits.
I thought, I don't want him in my house because he could do anything.
Right.
Within 2 weeks of KJ's supposed fall, Wade claims that something terrible happened. Keep in mind that he knows the officers are working their way through his apartment, and he knows what they're going to find. He's setting himself up with a story he thinks will explain away the stomach-churning evidence.
I figured she'd be okay in a bathtub, just taking a bath. No. So I started the water for her. I thought she'd be okay if she was laying down, not standing up. I wouldn't have to watch over her.
She wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I seen her in the morning, she wasn't breathing, and what really shocked me is when I saw her feet. And it means that she started with hot water, and I don't know, didn't have the strength to turn the knob, or I can't understand why she didn't turn it or adjust it, or
What the fuck is up with this dude?
and I don't know if that was the cause of death.
Drowning?
Is hot water, or maybe she tried to get up and fell or something. I don't know. I seriously do want to know what the cause of death was, because I really don't know.
With this claim, Wade has confirmed that KJ isn't missing. She's dead.
So what the fuck was in the cooler?
Her.
How much of her?
I don't know, but she wasn't in the tub at the time because he showed them the bathroom. Well, I think he's saying, like, he's claiming that he put her in the tub to give her a bath, I guess, and left her alone, and the water was like scorching hot, and she couldn't reach to turn the knob to put some cool water. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he's thinking that we gonna see, but he's saying a lot of nothing. So,
but all right. So besides how my little cousin passed, because you know he passed from taking a hot bath. You know about this situation, right?
is it the one that
got overheated?
But he was outside and then came in.
Came
See,
in.
that's different because now you like putting your heart like that's a little different.
So what outside of that? What other way is there to die from hot water?
Because he said she couldn't move. Remember, he said she really couldn't move like that. Brother could walk, didn't really have any mobility.
But why would the hot water be the cause of death, though?
That's what I'm saying. It's not making. I'm trying to figure out. Unless he's saying I don't know. I'm trying not to like speculate until I get more. But yeah.
When you left the bathroom, how was she positioned?
She was laying in the tub.
Okay.
So this is where I don't see anything on the outside of the fridge. For the naked eye. See anything underneath?
Okay.
No, either. Oh my gosh.
And did you go back in there?
I went to sleep.
You went to sleep.
I thought she would be okay.
Authorities struggle to understand Wade's logic. In what world would someone leave a person who was incapable of eating, drinking, or moving around without help alone in a tub full of water? There's one very good reason for this. Wade isn't telling them the truth.
Facts.
While on a break in the back room, officers wrestle with ideas about what's really going on.
This guy, like, not all there.
He's not all there. We thought we
know that much.
I figured that you can choke him up pretty easy, but he's either really good or he's just. I don't think he's all there.
As the police will soon learn, it isn't that Wade is out of his mind. Rather, he's attempting to manipulate them in order to hide the truth of what really happened to KJ. But the horrors uncovered back at his apartment will reveal an entirely different version of events.
So your cast off. Something's right there, because that's CS.
It's over here. It's way down.
Yeah. That looks like it hit pretty level.
It's almost like it's all the way across.
When the officers interviewing Wade return to speak with him, they press him further, hoping to get a story that makes sense. What Wade soon tells them is chilling.
And then when did you go back into the bathtub? Or the bathroom, I'm sorry.
Not till morning when I woke up and realized she wasn't in bed with me.
Was the water still running, or was the water off?
Water was off, so she had to have turned it in. So.
No,
Motherfucker, you turned it off.
My thing is, you said, well, I don't know why she didn't put any cold water. Okay, well, if I could put cold water.
No, if I could
could turn it off, my bad. If I could turn it off, I could put cold water in there. Like, that makes no sense. Your story does not add up, obviously, because, because you are lying and trying to manipulate the situation. And, like, oh, my gosh, like, I was just there to help her, and I was trying, and something went wrong, and what you scared? I was scared, and I didn't want to. No, because if something actually was wrong, she couldn't eat, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything for herself, and an accident happened, you will call someone.
Yeah.
Like,
I would hope.
That's
the thing. I would hope you would. But
so no, like, let's be real. Just
confess to what you did, man.
We in your apartment. They in your apartment. They already done seen. You know.
It ain't adding up.
It's not adding up.
Had to.
Was her head above water or below the water? Below water. Okay. What happened at that point? Did you call 911? Did you call anybody at all?
And I do apologize. I'm not laughing about this. She said y'all can hear her stomach growling.
Yeah, I do apologize.
That's why I'm laughing.
If y'all hear my stomach growling, I'm so hungry. But I'm sorry. Because the camera keep picking it up, and people always be like, is there somebody who's stomach growling?
And if y'all hear stomach growling,
it's always mine. I'm sorry.
And no, nobody's starving her. She eats. She eats regularly.
See, there you go. You don't have to say that.
She eats regularly. She eats a lot.
It just digests quick. But sorry, y'all.
If KJ's death was truly an accident, it's hard to fathom why Wade wouldn't immediately call for help. Wade has also just lied to police. Or at the very least, he's leaving.
Also, he said he liked to beat women. So there go my logic.
And he's working on it.
And there go my logic for, I believe I do believe there was an altercation between the two. He pushed her. She hit her head. Which is still
maybe she
that
wanted
would be more manslaughter.
Maybe
right?
she wanted to leave, and you wouldn't allow her to leave, or.
But if it's an accidental death, that's manslaughter, right? Because that's not first or second degree murder.
Yeah, I guess.
But since you're trying to hide it, it's amping it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Call for help. Wade has also just lied to police, or at the very least, he's leaving something integral out of this story. Given the 911 call reporting KJ's death, Wade had to have told someone about KJ's death.
He had her in the bathtub for a little while, and I don't think he's going to be very cooperative with you.
Okay. Well, most people aren't.
It turns out that Wade had no question in his mind about the identity of the mysterious caller who reported him to the authorities.
I only have one friend which probably made the call, and I'm not going to be upset with him. He probably got to a point where his conscience got to him too.
And Wade was right. The caller was his own best friend, Stephen Ryan Russ. Wade explained that after everything had happened, his only way to cope with KJ's death was to tell someone. So he confided in Stephen. But what he told him was so disturbing that Stephen couldn't keep it to himself. When police bring Stephen in for questions,
is that a necklace or is that?
We'll see. They about to bring him in.
So disturbing that Stephen couldn't keep it to himself. When police bring Stephen in for questioning, it's clear from the start he has reservations about speaking up.
Is this going to be in court?
This could possibly be used in court, yeah.
So where's you going to know about this?
Is that a freaking necklace or is that like?
I think it's a necklace.
That tight and in that position?
It's like one of those like.
Can he breathe? Because it also looks like a strangulation mark.
Here it goes. All right. So the whole case came to light when Central Dispatch got a call regarding Wade and KJ. Do you know about that call?
Yes, I do.
Did you place that call to Central Dispatch?
Yes, I did.
And what was that call in reference to?
My family was getting very scared of him, and it was to the point that they couldn't even sleep, so I had to do something.
Stephen continues, explaining the series of Facebook messages that turned his world upside down.
He said that he did something and that he can't talk to anyone about it. And I was like, well, I'm your brother. You can talk to me.
According to Stephen, Wade then explained that KJ had passed away unexpectedly, and he didn't report her death to the police.
He wanted us to help him move the body with the car, and we both told him no, that we can't do that. And I was like, you're one of my closest friends, and I'll keep your secret for you, but obviously I couldn't.
In interrogation, Wade tries to explain his choice to hide KJ's death, hoping to ease detective suspicions.
It's hard to feel.
You know what's so crazy? I'm sorry we paused a lot, but I do think he would have got rid of the body if he had his own vehicle and he wouldn't told a single soul. One, she was homeless. And they typically, like when homeless people go missing, the cases are always cold. It's hard to solve a homeless person's missing or possibly suspicion of death unless you have somewhere to trace it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a high chance if he had his own vehicle and he could have got the body out of the house and dumped her somewhere. Even if they found the body, they probably still wouldn't link them back to her. Because they would have been like, a lot of times this is how they treat homeless people. It's like, oh, she was a homeless person. Could have been anything. Could have been drugs. Yeah. Could have been beef with somebody. She could have been selling herself. They go through a plethora of things instead of actually looking for what really happened.
That is true. We see that a lot, and it's sad.
I feel like I can be honest. If I feel like I go through scenarios all the time where I'm accused, and
well, I can tell you, we're not here making any accusation. We're just here to.
It's hard to try.
Figure out what happened.
I didn't do the right action. I probably should have reported. I should have done some things right, and I just felt like whatever I would have said would have just been taken the wrong way or said the wrong way. And
by now, Wade knew he was in trouble. KJ's body was still in his apartment, and he needed it gone. Stephen eventually paid him a visit, and things only got worse.
He's asked me if I wanted to see the body, and I told him no. I really didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't even want to be in there because it felt like there was an elephant sitting on my chest.
When asked why Wade would keep KJ's body in the apartment, Stephen gave an answer that only hinted at the truth.
My guess is because he didn't have the means of getting rid of it.
I treated it like I was guilty of the situation. I felt like no matter what I say to you, I was just going to be guilty. But I figure even no matter what, that's how I'll do is I want to give her a proper burial somewhere.
Wade's desire to give KJ a proper burial is chilling, and his next comments stir up the eerie feeling that Wade desires some sort of control, a theme that will surface again soon. As disturbing as this story is, it's only the beginning of the sickening revelations because Wade still isn't telling the full story.
at least wherever I'll put her, I would visit her. I wouldn't want her to have, like, nobody visit her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what you guys would do with her now, but if I could know where she was buried, I would like to go.
The cooler was brand new.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Got some paper stuff.
Oh, shit.
I want to look. So
The police then question Wade about what happened after he claims he found KJ dead, and he launches into a truly sickening timeline. But no matter how shocking his revelations seem, they pale in comparison to what's to come when the truth is revealed.
So let's get back to our sequence of how things kind of played out and what happened. So wake up in the morning, she's in a bathtub, she's not breathing. What transpired from there?
Well, it's not pretty, I'll tell you that. Seeing things that I can't unsee, but... Okay, so it took me a while to get some coolers. In the process of that, I would run cold water on her until I got some coolers, because I was like, I mean, you have a lot of detective shows, right?
Sure.
So
They're
they
good.
tell you if you keep the body cold or something, maybe it'll preserve it. I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant in what I'm thinking, but that's TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the whole decomposition process. And because I would come in and check on her, and I know she's passed, so I still talk to her.
Okay.
Wow.
Which probably makes you crazy.
I definitely don't think that it's something that makes you crazy. I mean, it's no different than someone who goes to a gravesite and talks to one of their loved ones who's passed.
First couple days, she's movable, right?
Right.
Then after that, you see like the blood kind of settle where she was laying at.
Mm-hmm.
So a little after that, that's when I start seeing like black around her fingertips and her groin and waistline. And by then she was pretty stiff for a good while. Because when she was laid in the tub, she kind of laid like against the wall, I think, or something. But even after a while, the stiffness faded away, and she just kind of, laid on her shoulder.
Now, Wade was in a pickle. With a decomposing body in his bathtub and with Stephen's refusal to help him move it, it was only a matter of time until someone caught on. So he hatched a plan. On April 12th, around 6 days after KJ's death, Wade saved up the money to buy a large cooler, air freshener, and 30-gallon trash bags.
Wow.
So what happened at that point? You said that you bought one and then realized you needed a second. What do you mean by that?
Well, I wanted to put her all in one so she could be whole.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't really move her in any kind of way to keep her whole. Nothing I could do to keep her remain whole. That's where it really got gross.
Oh, wow.
So is it a bloodbath in there?
What happened at that point?
Well, when I had to get the second cooler, I had to put her legs in that one. And I'm not gonna lie, that was the grossest thing ever.
And I guess help me understand how she was in one and her legs were in another.
I had to cut her legs so I could fit,
Okay, when you say that, you mean that her body was too big for the first cooler? So you couldn't fit her in the first cooler? And was she too stiff to be able to move her around to put her in the cooler?
If I could move her, I would have had her like knees up to her chest or something.
But you couldn't.
When Wade couldn't fit KJ's body into one large cooler, he decided dismemberment was his only option. But he didn't exactly keep a low profile. Instead, he asked to borrow a saw from his neighbor Sherry, not an unusual request if it weren't for his bizarre explanation.
Sherry, you've had to have seen KJ in the house.
My thing is, y'all stay.
Why
First of all,
antennas ain't going off? Where's KJ?
and not just only that. First of all, what you sawing? What you need a saw for? That would have been red. What you about to go saw? We in this apartment. What? Like that really would have like. I'm like, I would have asked, what do you need it for? But I guess, does he barred a lot for some reason, or he does things? Like, I would like to know. If not, I am going to be asking questions.
There should have been a lot of red flags go off on her.
Especially after you just told me that she, can't really do this, or you have this. I
beat women.
I have a problem. I'm working on it.
She's not feeling good. I'm having to help her. I'm not calling the police. Now I need your saw. What the fuck?
Come on.
Fuck you need my saw for? And where's KJ? Why can I go see KJ? Well,
I ain't putting myself in that. Yeah. I'm just gonna call authority. I'm just gonna call the authorities. Like,
she should have called the police.
I'm not sure, but I just have some type of suspicion. Like, I just want you to go check it out.
Yeah, I need a welfare check. All you had to do is say, I need a welfare check on.
That's it. That's all.
On my neighbor. I haven't seen her a couple of days. I just need to make sure she's okay. And that's all you had to say. I've placed a welfare call before. That's all you had to say. They would have showed up. Where's KJ? He had already... Man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
According to Sherry, Wade claimed he needed the tool to cut his mattress in half. When he wasn't able to use someone else's saw, he purchased his own from a local supermarket and then got to work.
Where did you cut her legs at?
This is the most disgusting thing ever. Hopefully you never have to see something like this in your life. Ever. Alright, so here and then here. I started here, but then I realized her knees were still over to the edge. So I had to go here too. But what I would have wanted to do, except she was too heavy for me, is take her under the shower and get her wash her off, because after she passed on, she crapped herself. I was like, man, I didn't even know that until I got her into the cooler.
The police working their way through Wade's apartment eventually confronted the sickening...
But he said he watched all these detective shows.
No.
Detective shows already gonna let you know they have a final release. This motherfucker sick, bro.
And I'm too much of a visual person to be like...
And it's beyond he ain't got it all there up in his head, bro. I don't think he even wanted it up there, bro. This man ain't Delulu. He just crazy.
Facts.
Discovery hidden in his cooler.
Now remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Oh yeah.
Her head, her arms, her breasts.
She's been gone for a while.
Yep. See, her legs are detached and above the knee.
Yep. Bugs have made their way in.
Yep. There's a large amount of food there.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely a female. Appears to be Caucasian.
Naked, no clothes.
Okay.
Flies. And why is there no odor?
Well,
Cause that should have already been odor. So This must be a good ass cooler.
Well, I'm about to say maybe the cooler conceals some of, like, or most of, if not all, because they still didn't smell none initially, like at the door.
At the door.
Yeah. So, and then he got her like in the bags as well. I think he bought the bags. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Now because they able to see the full body.
That's what I'm saying. When they start describing, I was like, oh, so they can like really see. So I don't know if he used the bags or he just put them at the bottom. And then put her, I don't know, or he used the bag so that he can do what he needed to do, like use them as like, plastic or, whatever. For like, I'm sorry. But yeah. And you have to also keep in mind too that the month, like it's going to be, like the cooler still can be warm in the inside. Like it doesn't have any ice or anything in it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm wondering why there should be way more decomposition too. Right?
I mean, I would think. I don't know where he had it before, how he preserved.
Or that's why it appears that when this happened.
Well,
she been dead for about a month.
She been gone for a while, so I'll say January, March, April, maybe. I don't know that I don't know
somewhere
exactly.
in March or April.
March or April. Like I don't know her
people
actual
said
time.
Last time they really heard from her was what, March?
Yeah.
Yeah, she been gone for a while.
But the discovery of all this happening is May 22nd of 2019.
And it's hot outside.
That's Michigan.
Still hot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still hot outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this. Oh.
And cut up.
Nice. Okay, now it stinks.
Well, so there's a lot more evidence in here somewhere.
It stinks.
Yeah, now it does.
The officers have only discovered part of what they believe to be KJ's body, but it won't be long before they find the rest.
Oh, that's the other.
The coolers do be sealed off like that. Because you remember that one Mr. Ballin joint we did, the guy had been in a cooler for a long, in a deep freezer. Mm-hmm. Cause that's where he was, and they didn't smell it. Oh, yeah,
like it's enclosed. It's like sealed.
I didn't know they'd be sealed like that where you can't smell the
And then I was thinking, because I remember just like back in the day, my grandma had like this old cooler. She used to put stuff in there and then like just leave it in there and sit it outside, but you could never and it be on the back porch. You could never smell anything until you like open it, and it's like, and it hit you like, dang. Then my cousin always just have to clean it out because she'll forget that she put stuff in there and like straps and stuff. Yeah, so yeah.
Sure that.
But this is a body.
So that's where it
totally
is.
Totally different, but still.
So we're going to move this.
Boy, drops it right in front of the suitcase.
So this cooler is what we think might have the other parts in it. I will lift it up. It is tied in a knot up here. I will cut right here.
Boy. That's where the bags came in.
Yep, those are her legs.
Just imagine somebody squeeze your legs.
I don't want to.
Saw some toes and an ankle. You're able to open that up. Yeah, there's them in there.
That's why I can't be a police officer, bro. I can't do shit like this.
Okay, it's probably not the best place to puke.
From his apartment, authorities also collected clear safety goggles, rubber gloves, and several small items, including bungee cords, a black belt, and a white ribbon.
Why would we need a bungee cord? Ribbons and stuff.
This white ribbon, a seemingly innocuous discovery compared to the horrors already uncovered, would turn out to be a clue to the stomach-churning truth of what really happened to KJ.
Was her head attached?
Yeah.
She's
in the cooler. She's
this
has basically been down like that.
That's all I seen was her arm and part of her chest. And I just shut it
about right here
through the femur.
Authorities shift focus to the saw, which wasn't recovered from Wade's apartment during the initial search. Wade says that shortly after he dismembered KJ's body, he contacted a friend he knew through the local shelter system to negotiate a trade, a saw for a DVD player.
Was there a reason we got rid of it, or just had it and you didn't really need it, or I mean, how did that whole thing play out with Bill?
He needed it. I needed a DVD player.
While Wade describes trading the saw as a casual, serendipitous event, police catch up with the man who received the saw, and he describes an entirely different scenario.
Like, he really was wanting to give it to me. I'm like, well, just wait till I bring a DVD, because I don't like doing deals where, you know, I owe somebody, because then I got it on the back of my mind constantly. I have to, you know, I owe them. So I was like, just wait. And he's like, no, here, just take it out.
Would you say that he was insisting that you take the saw?
Pretty much, yes, he was.
Huh.
My bad. I was trying to see when they headed up earlier, bigger. I was trying to see the date on there.
I just still want to have been able to help us, but well,
It
a little bit.
possibly could have, because he probably did it.
She was there for a couple.
Yeah, I just wanted to know when he
before
purchased
even
it,
got
and that would give me an idea maybe when he started.
True.
Yeah.
Because I even said, no, not right now.
Did you notice anything about the saw that was weird, different?
Looking at you can see, like, in a serration, it looked like a chunk of something in there.
DNA testing of the saw blade did reveal the possibility of blood present, although further details could not be confirmed.
I mean, I'm not proud of anything at all.
Sure, but stuff happens, and we're just trying to get
Not how this should be. Like, I kept saying this word, like, this is not how you should have went. This.
Upon reflection, Bill explained this wasn't the only thing that seemed off when he was around Wade.
And then when you heard about Wade getting arrested, what was the first thought in your mind?
I didn't believe it. I'm like, because I've been hanging out with him. I freaked out because I was sitting on the cooler. I didn't know. I smelled like, you know, now I know what a dead body smells like, but that smell was there.
So
I don't think he smelled nothing. I think he's making himself think he smelled something.
Maybe
because the officers didn't even.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and I'm like,
unless he recently had just put her in there,
and it was just in the house, and by this time you done aired the house out a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know,
because I'm like, if you smelt it, even when they walked by the cooler, the officer would have went ahead and said, "Hey." I guess
it will need to have like dates and like stuff like that to know when you was over there and when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's just a little.
As soon as I walked in, it was bad. You know, I was just thinking, man, this guy got some nasty bowels or something. Right. That's what I honestly thought that was, but now I know that was a body.
By now, the police are more than suspicious that the story Wade is telling them isn't the truth, but just what exactly he was hiding remained to be seen. Still, Sherry, Wade's neighbor, may have had some idea about what was really going on behind the closed door of Wade's apartment. In her interview, she recalled one of the few interactions she ever had with KJ. One day, she stopped by Wade's door to ask for coffee and was surprised when KJ greeted her at the door. Sherry didn't know it at the time, but as KJ peered out from behind the front door, she didn't have a stitch of clothing on. KJ agreed to send Wade over shortly. When he showed up on Sherry's doorstep, coffee in hand, he wasn't happy. According to Sherry, Wade admitted to forcing KJ to walk around their home naked, and by answering the door that day, she'd apparently crossed the line.
He said, she shouldn't have opened the door like that. I said, well, I didn't see anything. And he goes, I'm going to have to get the belt out.
But back in the interrogation room, Wade doesn't do much to refute his neighbor's accusations.
You have to get the belt.
Who the fuck are you, you broke son of a bitch?
Like, what?
Motherfucker, you barely even got... You want to help... You think... Bruh, it do be men like this who think every female... Like... You bum-ass bitch. Who the fuck raised you?
That's crazy, yeah.
You trying to have this much control? Bitch, you work at... I ain't got a car, bro. Got the nerve to tell myself I'm gonna have to put a belt on. You wanna have...
In fact, he expands on them.
You never gone to jail for fighting somebody or pushing somebody or...
Nah, he a punk.
Any kind of domestic violence or anything crazy like that?
The domestic things in the past have been dismissed in court.
A pattern is beginning to emerge. While Wade admits fault in some instances, the admissions almost seem calculated, as if they're designed to distract from the larger questions at hand.
I said, if I hear any domestic violence, I'm going to call the police.
Sherry never called the police, but Wade eventually admits to the officers that he did hurt KJ.
All right, I kicked her in the butt because I was ashamed of her cheating on me and such. You know, I shouldn't have, but I did. And then, come to find out in court, she tried to blame these bruises of her ankles on me. I said, I have nothing to do with her ankles. That's false evidence. Because what happened was she fell down by the railroad, again, the balance issue, by the railroad tracks, and that caused the bruises from her ankles rolling.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You literally killed her and dismembered the body. And you still try to... I don't be... Man,
But I kicked her. I wish you
Man,
would.
I hope somebody kick your ass in while you in jail. Kick your ass down the stairs while you trying to go upstairs with your greedy ass plate. You know what I'm saying? Look, I hope somebody take your lunch money.
Not from you kicking
I'm talking about like his commissary.
I know what you meant.
Because somebody need to punk his punk ass out.
Talking about I kicked her in the
He want to do women like this. I hope they do you 10 times worse than you do women.
Facts.
Because you ain't built to handle your own in there. That's why you like touching on more frail women. Somebody you think you can intimidate.
Facts.
No.
Gotcha.
Look it out, report required. You want to just been chilling in this body in this house.
Guess she had reason for concern.
Soon, officers place Wade in a holding cell while they continue to investigate.
Get more cookies.
He got another cookie seat. He said he a greedy son of a bitch.
Bro.
Little punk ass bastard.
You don't deserve no cookies.
Who raised you, bro?
And as if it were everyday conversation, Wade nonchalantly confirms his neighbor's allegations. Earlier, when Wade was first brought in, he contemplated his choice to hide KJ's death. Most disturbingly, despite knowing what the officers at his apartment were going to discover and knowing what he had done, he somehow still had an appetite to eat the cookies offered to him.
Right.
All right, Wade. So, what I would like to know from you is, in your own words, what happened to Kelly Jean?
On the day I found her like that, if I had called it in, would there be a different outcome? Would it be anything different?
Yeah, I don't. It just depends on, when it was and all that.
His indifference was yet another subtle sign of the horrors to come, but still, no one can prepare themselves for the nauseating story that is eventually revealed.
When was the last time you used a belt on her?
Probably a day or two before. But
Before she died?
yeah, but that couldn't cause death.
I wouldn't think it would. So, yeah. Why'd you use a belt on her?
Because I don't want to use hands.
Okay. What did she do to deserve the belt?
Oh, her coming back type thing.
Okay. So it's punishment to her.
But that's my point. I started using the belt because I didn't want to use hands anymore.
Okay.
That's why I'm not saying it's that much better, okay? I shouldn't be physical anyways.
Sherry had a different theory, one that was sickeningly close to the truth.
I never really saw her because I think that...
And that goes back to what I was wondering why she never, hey, where KJ at? She didn't know KJ.
Yeah,
for real. So I take back that on that part. Like, as a neighbor, she's only interacting with Wade. She's seen her once. That doesn't necessarily mean she knew or had any
because
knowing that she was staying there.
Yeah, because I'm like, Sherry and Wade are neighbors. KJ just was staying with Wade, but
she never saw her but one time.
There was no relationship between Sherry and KJ for
and
real.
she didn't know her name.
Yeah,
possibly
didn't
know
but
her
yeah.
name. Unless Wade had said who she was.
Yeah, told her.
Yeah.
He was keeping her in there and not wanting anybody to see her.
I think that
By
as well.
now, authorities know more than they're letting on, and with one question, they signal to Wade that his house of lies is about to collapse around him.
we're not going to find any belt marks around her neck, are we? That's just a question I got asked.
I don't think you will, no.
You don't think?
What if we do?
I don't think you should be finding things, but
With Wade's
He going back to that stupid ass shit he did before in the beginning. I don't think you should, like, and that shows his guilt.
Yeah.
Like when he started acting like that stupid ass shit.
Even when they was earlier, when they was in the house and the cop wanted to see, wanted to see the cool him doing that little stretch thing, whatever. I was like, no, sir,
that's his demeanor of trying to. I don't know how to process it.
But
y'all gonna find it.
Yeah, but I'm also, like I said earlier, I do think, like what Sherry said, that he was holding her hostage in his apartment, basically. And didn't want nobody to see her. He probably was starving her. There's no telling what he was putting her through.
And was she cheating, or she just running away from the abuse?
Right.
And then when she came back, because she it's everything she run to probably is temporary.
Yeah.
She can't stay anywhere long term, so she feels as though she has to come back,
and you
which a lot of
her.
women do go through that a lot. And they go back to the abuser, and the abuser put them through worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, that's to be the outcome, man.
History of alleged violence, authorities are hoping for first-hand witnesses. And when they catch up with his most recent ex-girlfriend, Katie, they get more than they bargained for. Katie explained that she'd known Wade since childhood, and their relationship became romantic in 2018, just 1 year prior. But it was short-lived, ending abruptly after only 3 months.
Okay.
So what happened that ended your guys' relationship?
Okay, so my kids had just started school again, and I needed to be home with them. And so I couldn't do whatever he was asking me to do, like pick him up or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up showing up here. But I had my kids and I could not take him. Mm-hmm. And he started to fight out here. And I finally was like, okay, just get in the car. Like, I'll take you just to get you away from me. And my kids were in the back seat and he was in the front seat with me. And we were driving towards Kalamazoo and he realized that I was going to leave him there. Mm-hmm. And he said something and I just put my hand across. I didn't even touch him. I just was like, stop, like, just stop. My kids are right there. Like, you're freaking out.
Does he not remind you of someone? His actions, the control. You don't jump when I say jump.
He remind me a lot of abusive men.
But
that
you personally,
yeah.
Like he remind
that's the behavior. Like
everybody comes second.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come first no matter what. You can put in order how everyone else goes.
But just make sure that I'm number one, even before the kids.
Yeah, when I jump, you say ha.
When I say jump,
And he told me that he would break my arm if I ever did that again. And so my daughter she's a diabetic, and she started. I didn't know at the time, but she was like, "Mom, my sugar's going low," but she was just faking it to get back home. No. And
smart girl.
So I got us back here. My kids got in the house. I got away from him out of the car. And he's like, just get back in the car and take me. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting back in the car. And I put like a bicycle and a chair between us and I wouldn't let him get close enough. He's like, no, I'm not going to hurt you. Just come here. Let's just figure this out. And I was like, no. You need to find like somewhere else to go, somewhere, like get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you.
And before the detective leaves, she suggests something far more sinister may be at play.
If I wouldn't have ended things when I did, that would have been me. And that's terrifying to me.
As police slowly gather more pieces to this puzzle, a clearer picture starts to emerge. Authorities are ready to confront Wade. Unsurprisingly, Wade uses the opportunity to smooth over his story, but in the process, he trips up.
He says, well, why didn't she scream or anything? I've never seen that woman scream. Never. I might have only seen her cry maybe 4 times.
Okay. What caused her to cry?
2 times was pain related.
Like where she got hurt, she cried.
How'd she get hurt? Did she cut herself bad, or was it a broken bone, or?
Just, I don't know if she, I don't even want to really talk about that. I just know that that's the only time I've ever seen her
Stupid ass
cry.
shit again.
She was twice out of pain,
Okay.
and twice when I left her alone.
You don't want to talk about it because did you cause?
So 4 times you made her cry. 2 gets pain. 2 you left her alone. Left her alone in what way? What you said earlier. He will hold her against, maybe put her in a room by herself. She can't escape. So you already got her walking around the house naked. She can't.
Which is so like.
Yeah, you a sick mother.
Very much so.
I hope somebody puts you in a room. How you left alone, but not alone with another man, and they do. Fleece. Well, we need more. Hey, we need Fleece Johnson for a type of dude like this. For real though. And have him crying. Guard! You know what I'm saying?
Cause the pain to her. And you can be honest with me, Wade. It's all about getting everything off your chest.
When I left her alone, I know when she cried being alone, I caused that emotional pain, physical pain.
There you go with that dumb ass look again.
I don't think me causing her physical pain caused her to cry. I think, well, maybe.
Maybe it was a little physical pain from you.
Talking about causing pain to people is just not something I get a thrill out of. It's not.
Yeah, I understand that.
I just don't want to talk about that. That's
You want to talk about how horrible of a person you are?
No.
Ironically, despite Wade's claims here, he would eventually talk about this very subject, and it would be what law enforcement needed to break his case wide open. Soon the officer stands to leave the room. Sensing Wade's desperation, he presses a little more.
When we do the autopsy, what marks are we going to find that was from scuffles between the two of you?
Like her lips might be messed up, or...
Why would her lips be messed up?
Why?
He punched it.
And you can speak to me, man. It's just between me and you.
Physical stuff, but it was not something that would cause her to go through it. Like, that night was a peaceful night, okay? I want that very clear.
Well, we're getting somewhere now. Now I'm starting to see a little bit.
Before wrapping up, the officer gives Wade one last chance to come clean.
I got 30 seconds before I got to walk out of here, okay?
Okay.
So you look me straight in the eye and tell me that you're not the cause of her death.
No, I'm not.
While police know Wade isn't telling them everything, they never could have imagined the stories of depravity that would follow this interrogation. And eventually, KJ's autopsy would reveal a sickening story. After Wade was booked, the disturbing, stomach-churning truth was revealed. Authorities received statements from several of his cellmates requesting to speak with them. One by one, these...
I don't like talking about my physical, but you sure can
all,
go in there.
Right. Talking to him, like, come on, with strangers that you don't know. I don't get a thrill out of talk. Well, you sure seem like it.
These men explained that Wade had shared every gruesome detail about what really happened to KJ. And proudly, what they revealed shocked everyone.
But what did Wade Allen tell you guys? Man, dude, this guy is... Well, let me just put it to you like this. He's a serial killer. He told us that he physically had this girl down on the bed with a white ribbon around her neck, watching the clock for 5 minutes until she was dead. And he brought her back to life.
If you recall, police found ribbon while in Wade's apartment.
Some type of ribbon? And when he did, the torture that he put her through, it's gross.
Oh
it's
my
disgusting.
gosh.
This is only the beginning of the horrifying reveals. Although Wade's alleged jailhouse stories vary slightly, several of his cellmates agree on a few particularly gruesome details about what happened to KJ.
He told her, he says, you're going to die by someone that loves you and not somebody that hates you.
Curiously, investigators discovered that KJ's very last Facebook message was to Wade on March 18th, the same day she suddenly dropped all activity.
March 18th.
That's the day she
okay. Yeah, I remember
transitioned. So 2 months before they found. That's a long time. That house should have been reeked with odor. She been laying in the corner probably for longer than a month. That is sick and disgusting.
The message read, I love you, you are mine, and I am yours forevermore. I know that you can't reply, but I wanted to tell you this every day. This ominous message was just the beginning.
And you said he brought her back? What do you mean by that? What did
He gave her CPR. That dude needs to be put away for a long time, man.
As police interview cellmate after cellmate, they each build on the same story. And as they continue, what was already a tragic story evolves into one of pure, unbridled evil. According to the men housed with Wade, his sick actions may have started long before KJ's death. They claim Wade had a jealous and controlling streak, and as one cellmate tells it, KJ's life changed drastically after she confided in a mutual friend about her relationship troubles.
His friend had a conversation with him and said that Kelly had told his girlfriend that Wade was being too rough with her as far as sexuality went.
Mm-hmm.
Wade said that from that point on, he was furious because his sexual matters weren't to be discussed with his friends. They were personal. So he said he never let her go to whoever's house that was again. That from that day on, when he went to work, he started tying her up and placing her in the closet.
And if binding KJ alone...
That's that leaving her alone. And that's what you said in the beginning. That's what he admitted to without admitting to it. That's basically holding someone hostage. And probably would leave her in the closet naked.
Holding her captive in their home. Probably not feeding her. Probably not.
And that's why he said she was always weak. You're not feeding her.
Probably you gone to work for hours of the day, not urinating, not like so many things. That is, yeah.
Sick.
Alone in a dark closet for hours on end wasn't sickening enough. Another inmate describes an unthinkably heinous act.
He gagged her with a screwdriver and a wash rag, and he would put a wash rag around into the screwdriver and made it like a horse bit. That's why he wouldn't have to take the bit out of her mouth, because he could wet the wash rag and give her water, so he'd keep her tied up longer without having to untie her.
And what was the purpose of that?
So she couldn't yell and scream.
According to Wade's cellmates, KJ initially fought back against Wade's mistreatment. When she threatened to go to the police, Wade amped up his efforts to silence her.
Wade started tying her up and keeping her to where she couldn't go anywhere. Like, she didn't go outside, she didn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that Sherry had been right all along.
I think that he was keeping her in there and not wanting anybody to see her.
According to his cellmates, the truth behind KJ's death was so twisted, so unimaginably brutal, that it kept them up at night. In fact, after they heard Wade's latest retelling of events, the men took shifts sleeping, making sure there was always someone keeping an eye on him. His cellmates said that after Wade choked KJ to the brink of death, she lost her motor function, the ability to speak, and the ability to control her bowels. And
that's when he, because basically she died and came back.
And there's no
oxygen to the brain.
And there's no telling how long she was out before you was able to bring her back. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, y'all inmates, y'all ain't have shit to worry about. He only abused women.
That's true.
He ain't gonna touch y'all. He's bragging about it to make y'all afraid of him, so y'all don't try him. He ain't about that life for real. Not for real.
Not with men.
He a coward when it come to men.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them do be like that.
Yeah, they do.
That's crazy, bro.
Bladder. Then she remained alive in this helpless state for around 2 weeks before her death.
Wow.
He said he didn't know if it killed her, but he had to smack her to get her to come back. And I guess she never actually came back. She came back, but she wasn't there. So, and that's, you know.
What do you mean by that?
She wasn't coherent. You know, she never talked again to him, but she, you know, he got her to breathe again.
And in the meantime, according to another cellmate, she suffered unspeakably.
He said a couple times he went in there and just put his hand over her face and nose to see if he could. He said, but she wouldn't die, like she didn't want to die.
According to another man housed with Wade, he even seemed to regard her suffering as an inconvenience for him.
And he said that she wouldn't eat is why he was hitting her with the belt stuff, trying to wake her up, but she wouldn't wake up.
Bit by bit, police are beginning to piece together the...
She was basically kind of like disabled now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody who's
in a vegetable state, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like she couldn't do for herself. Like she, like alive, but she's not there.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like somebody who would like have a brain injury, a car wreck injury, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like you said, ain't no telling how long he had her under. Cause he choked her for 5 minutes straight. She could have been head gone.
Like you literally, like she was already like. That's suffering.
Seems as though she was already frail too.
Right? Like the things that you put her through, not even just this day, just every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every day she was in the house. Yes.
Because for her to even go run and tell somebody like you doing some, it was traumatic then.
Gut-wrenching reality of KJ's last days. While Wade claimed to have been attempting to feed her and care for her in her state of helplessness, this was a complete lie, and in fact, he was torturing her.
He got to the point where he was laying in bed one day, and he felt the need to take a torch that he had, and he said he burned her tongue, her clit, and her nipples, so that she would never feel arousal from another male again.
He said he even put her in a bathtub and dumped scalding hot water on her feet to see if she had any movement, and she wouldn't move, scream, or nothing. He said it was so hot that he boiled the water and dumped it on. He said it burnt his skin and everything right off of it.
Oh my
Since she was not bothered by it no more, he had to take it a step further to show her that when she was in the wrong, she was in the wrong.
The informants say that this is precisely when Wade injured KJ to the point of her incapacitation and eventual death.
Well, he said no matter what he did to her, that she had no movement, and eventually she just passed on her own.
Somehow, even after KJ's death, the hellish scene in Wade's apartment wasn't over. In fact, according to his cellmate, he wasn't even close to finished with KJ. It was then that Wade sunk to a low so...
Man, this nigga's such a bitch, bro.
Baby, this case too much for me. Oh, and I'm ready for it to be over, because I just... Yeah, you're an evil person. Yeah, most definitely.
And that...
Unbelievable that his cellmate struggled to find the words.
He'd warm the body up and have relations with it, or whatever you want to call it. You know, that's just fucking. You know, I was like, geez, you know, I wasn't trying to hear any of that, but just, he's a monster.
That is definitely.
Can we back up to that part? What do you mean he warmed the body up?
Right.
In the tub, he would run warm water on it and then cool it down with cold water after he did whatever he did with it.
And according to another informant, Wade shared sick details about his horrific actions openly.
He was like, it was kind of rough at first. He was like, but her jaw just eventually opened up, and I just took advantage of it before I had to chop her up. I was like, whoa.
Meanwhile, as this nightmarish scenario took place, Wade's next-door neighbor, Sherry, started to notice a foul odor drifting into her own apartment.
Oh. But then, like, over the last 2 weeks, he was even standing there. I said, what is that smell? It smells like something died.
Oh, so yeah, the dude that was sitting on the cooler probably did. So
why
didn't...
Listen. So 2 weeks he got her like this, just doing vile things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before this is 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then he chopped her up,
Mm-hmm.
put her in the cooler, probably
Well,
clean.
she survived for 2 weeks.
But I'm saying,
then even after she died, he was doing stuff to her body still too.
But keep in mind, if she like this for 2 weeks, she's in the tub, piss, excuse me, bowels,
definitely, yeah,
all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so that smell is going to be very pungent. Over time, that can definitely see. I don't know how long after he did what he did. How long he had her out.
So what was it? March 18th? The last Facebook post. That's when everything happened. Mm-hmm. She was alive for 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
After the 2 weeks, he still even was doing stuff with the corpse. Yeah. With her corpse. Ain't no telling how long he did with that before he even decided to. So yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's just
on some Dahmer. Only thing he didn't do was eat her. All because of control.
Like something's dead. I thought maybe an animal or something. And he goes, well, there's a mouse in my wall. Maybe it died. First it smelled like gas, and it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
It also seemed that the 5 or so weeks KJ's body was hidden in the coolers was no accident.
And I said this, I was thinking of something. And maybe the reason why the cops didn't initially say something about the smell is because they didn't want to trigger and make him think that we have suspicion that you have killed someone. We wanted to first be able to retrieve the body before we...
But it probably, at that point, it probably didn't smell as bad when they went in there. Because keep in mind, a cop made a comment when they opened the cooler. He said, oh, it smells now. Like they could smell it now after they opened the cooler. So it probably faded over time.
True. After he put
her in the bags and put her in and probably cleaned up a little bit and all that. So
yeah, you're right.
Hoping that sitting in the totes for however long he kept her in there, that she would decompose enough that it wouldn't show the signs of the welts on her back and the bruising from him hit her.
Wade told you that?
Yeah.
KJ's autopsy revealed multiple areas of bruising, including her chin, neck, and right ear. Her hyoid bone, situated at the top of the neck underneath the chin area, was fractured. This is considered a strong indicator of strangulation due to the rarity of fractures from other types of trauma.
What a bone at? I'm asking her for a reason because she know more about the anatomy than I do.
Yeah, but I don't forget. I think it's like.
Girl, you had to take a test and know all the bones in the body. Come on.
I don't forget though.
Ultimately, her death was ruled as a homicide by unspecified means.
He would sit and watch Criminal Minds and talk about if I had it all. I wish I'd have watched this and I could have done it differently. The way he talked, it seemed like he has done it before.
According to his cellmates, it was Wade's total lack of remorse, even bragging, that set them off the most.
It's out there, man. He's just laughing about it, and he can talk about it like it's nothing to it. I mean, he jokes about it. He breaks out a police report and lets people, if you're interested in reading something that way, he'll let you read it. And it's beyond me. I mean, and he said he loves the girl. I mean, you don't love somebody and do this kind of stuff to him, man.
Not at all.
One cellmate explained that in addition to Wade's sick, unmerciful behavior, he was so proud of his actions that he felt he deserved notoriety. He nicknamed himself Chops, and he even hoped to write a book.
I know he said what would it really matter? Her parents and nobody wanted her.
Despite Wade's claims, KJ did have a family, one that was concerned about her well-being and wanted to see her be happy in life.
Somebody needs to stand up for that lady, right? And she has a family. And that's good to know, But I don't know. I got to get the emotional part of it, I feel for that. I feel for her family.
Yep, I completely agree. So do I.
And yeah, I'm just happy that I got to talk to you.
Sherry expressed her horror that she didn't see this coming.
I didn't think he could do something like that. But you don't know people. I mean, Ted Bundy, look, everybody liked him too.
When Wade's case went to trial, the first 2 searches of Wade's apartment were deemed unconstitutional on the grounds that Wade may have felt threatened during his detainment. It was also discovered that police officers falsely claimed to notice an odor coming from Wade's apartment in their reports. These claims were later recanted. Although Wade's defense aimed to suppress evidence obtained as a result of these initial searches, the appellate court ultimately ruled against them, stating that the discovery...
I knew that was going to, like, the entry of the apartment and everything was going to be, like, one that's in very questioning.
Yeah.
That's why I said in the beginning some of the stuff I said. I wish they had went in with a search warrant. He had no other way to get the... and I think... Technically, they weren't supposed to be able to detain him the way they did, or even threaten to detain him.
And I will say,
search warrant.
And I will say, just on the grounds of knowing or having suspicion that something may be going on or wrong, or someone's life may be at risk or taken, definitely take the proper protocol so that things like this, when it goes to court, that it doesn't screw with the case and stuff like that. Because we have seen a lot of times where things like this happen and charges are dropped, or they get a lighter, like, just whatever. And
I think I said, like, because personally, like I said, I didn't like the threat of detainment.
Yeah.
And I understand they can't get a search warrant before going over there. They have to have suspicions for a search warrant. After you, okay. Well, we just wanted to check on her. Then go get the search warrant, come back and do a complete search. Then detain him. As you can't detain him and say, "Hey, we're going to detain." I don't feel like I. That's from my assumption. I could be wrong in a sense, but from my understanding, I didn't know that you can detain someone and then wait on a search warrant.
Yeah.
Because then that's like holding me hostage.
Because if you would have just got it that day, I'm not supposed to.
A judge would have signed off for it, possibly.
Possibly, but what I'm saying is he didn't have too many options to, like, get rid of because he needed help with everything initially, so he ain't got no help. So,
and her body wasn't, like, decomposed to the point where it's in a liquid form, where he could have just flushed it down or something. So
of these initial searches, the appellate court ultimately ruled against them, stating that the discovery of the coolers was inevitable with a warrant, which at that point was already justified. In 2023, Wade was convicted of murder in the 2nd degree, as well as mutilation of a dead body. He pled no contest and was sentenced to 39 to 60 years in prison. But Wade's brutality didn't stop with KJ. He was also convicted of 3rd-degree criminal conduct after assaulting a fellow inmate in 2020. Once he discovered that his cellmates had spoken to police, he attacked one of the men.
No, y'all didn't let that mother.
Once he discovered that his cell...
He went after probably one of the more frail ones. These two look like the more... Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a bigger dude. He wants to... Somebody gonna get his ass.
Well, I guess he do. Try to do things to... Just whoever he feel like done crossed him. Or
Somebody
he feel like...
ass.
Yeah. He's a problem.
Somebody gonna get that ass.
This was the most.
That size ain't that size. He big with no muscle. That size ain't gonna intimidate everybody. That's jail. You finna go to prison where men been in there for years. I want to be known as Chops. Somebody gonna chop you down.
And write a book. Are you okay? Really? Huh? Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine sitting as, like, I couldn't even take it. So just imagine being a family member sitting and having to hear the gruesome things that he did to her. That was hard for me to listen to. That's sad.
But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are
Kid and C.
We out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and on the